Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording of AER Memories of Old. Now we're about halfway through the game and just last episode they mentioned AER as some kind of power source. We're in the second temple, we open these doors I guess, and maybe there's something behind the doors, or yeah, maybe there will be a puzzle of sorts back behind this, or maybe this will be a straight up elevator to a whole nother area. Interesting. It's a little surprising that elevators even exist in this game for as little as everything else is. Like the whole game seems to be pretty sparse. And yeah, I'm kind of just ready to wrap it up at this point, because I don't feel like it's going to give me anything more. We're in this factory that was built on top of a temple, so maybe the temple door will open something, but maybe not. Okay, so this can go up or down. And this feels to me like this is a case of it just really slowly opening a gate. Let's just power that down and see if it continues to spin. Alright, so that spins pretty easily. This spins pretty easily. So my guess is, since we can't fly, what we're supposed to do is something along the lines of this, where we jump up, and we jump through. I guess that's platforming, which we have been doing a little bit of jumping platforming. I'm not 100% sure if we're in a different area now, or if we just went full circle and are back where we were. Here's something different. It's just a picture. Feast on the honor of the only god Kuroku forever in his reign, King of Kings and soon the ruler of the known world. There's maybe something up higher. I don't know if I should jump downward though, because I feel like I might fall to my demise, or probably not fall to my demise, but just fall into a section I can't return to. And boy, does that feel like there should be a switch on the side here that would have unlocked that path. Alright. So I guess we are going downward. I hope the audio here is not too loud, but it's pretty loud. In all honesty, I'm just being lazy to not try and adjust it any further. And there's kind of nothing else going on. So we've got... Should we remove these old scrolls before we start up the drill? So these are like really old scrolls that are giant, which we've seen these before. But it's kind of questionable still who made them. And I assume the blue orbs are the air, and maybe I'm supposed to hop on the pipe and ride that. Yeah, I think that's what this light is supposed to tell me. This looks like something you could easily miss. got another button to activate, which just activates another piece of the machine that activates another piece of the door. That behind the door, I imagine we'll find another guardian. It will give us another piece of the shrine, and then that will be that. And I guess this opens a different exit. It's kind of pointless though to have a shortcut that for a place you're never going to return to, which seems kind of obvious what's going to happen here. I think I've already seen these. So that might be a door. I think that is. Yeah, although I would say the Skyrim, some of the good Skyrim caves also had doors that made shortcuts to make it easier to exit. So it's not something that is a legitimate thing to complain about. The problem here is it just wants more. That's kind of all it is I just want more gameplay here. And I'm not getting it. I'm getting these same switches. You could have at the very least done us a favor and created 2 or 3 switches of different kinds. A lever that she pulled. Now this is lit up, but I don't have any grabbing or climbing ability. So that strikes me as a case of needing to find a different path. I guess it is just going to be platforming on the gears up here. See, I guess this door will open when we're done. And this is just the catch or fall location. There was a game that came out about a year ago where you're wandering around this brightly white, ornately decorated house or mansion, and you're being chased by clones of yourself, and there's some little bit more to it than that, but in comparison to this game, I would say that game, if I could remember the name of it, probably has a similar amount of art assets that they used, although that game did not use these Unity pre-made, pre-built assets. But I would say also, even though that game has the same amount of art assets, it definitely has a lot more going along with it than what's happening here. Like, this game is centering around some themes of light and shadow. It wouldn't be a terrible idea if some shadows were following me. And that was a long load for a cutscene. The loading is a major problem here, and that just screams a lack of optimization. Like, there's plenty of Unity games out there that don't require long loads, particularly on a PC. Like, I'd buy maybe long loads on a cell phone running the Unity game. Kind of barely made that. And we're getting into platforming, but as soon as I even get into the groove here, I feel like I'm going to be done with this temple. The King's men are soon here. We need to hurry. I hope the scrolls will be safe in here. So, behind this door, apparently more scrolls are hidden. interlude for a cutscene. Yeah, so we're just burning through this. And I'm pretty sure this door opened automatically. And we have some more gigantic scrolls and one we can read. When the creator made the humans, the keeper of dreams came forward and stood guard. He saw the link between the great dreamer and eternity. Sometimes fear and nightmares were born into the world, and when snatched up by human thought, they turned into horrible realities. So he prepared powerful songs of time and peace, stories to lead nightmares astray, and he trapped them in eternal scrolls, stored them away. So, are bad guys in the scrolls? Nightmares hidden in the scrolls? Horrible stories never to come true, stored and forgotten in the halls of sleep. Interesting. So it almost makes me wonder if the didn't mean to do that. If the void that I keep seeing on my pilgrimage is just kind of a dream or nightmare that I'm dreaming as the main character. Maybe the world is not in any real danger. We found a fortune. There are multiple pockets of air below. Yeah. And this again is the only reference of air that we've gotten in the game so far. And so we've activated 3 machines to unlock this door. It's kind of weird how the technology that works with the temples also seems to be connected to the technology that the humans made. But I mean, I guess it's possible that the humans learned the technology from the temples. And they built all of this and they didn't see a garden. So we can see some shooting stars, which this is less spooky than the last Guardian we ran into. And again, we are kind of out in space, in air. And yet we're not really out in the air. And it doesn't particularly look like the door... Hey, wait a minute, it just started running. Like, this character has never been able to run before. And now it's running. That door's not locking. And I guess I'm supposed to be taking in the sight, but even in all honesty, this sight is still pretty dull and boring looking. So, door's still open. I step on the platform, door is still open. I walk all the way to the edge. These Guardians sure don't look like they are anything human. Door's still open again. So the time has come finally. Then this marks the time for the Keeper of Dreams to wake from this daydream and to resign. How could I protect your people from a nightmare that lurked within their dreams as you cease to believe in me? I doubt you will be able to overcome the shadow that lurks in your world, little human. There is a shadow in every human as well. It's interesting, she puts her hands behind her back when she talks, when these people talk to him. Alright, now that angle shows you a very different thing than what I was seeing before. And it seems like the camera angle just is cycling here. A shadow called emptiness that can't be filled with power nor possessions. Shallow minds led way for the void to come into existence, eating everything away. The creator had to sacrifice himself to lock away the ravenous void, and the lands and skies were shattered in the Great Divide. So we, I guess, are being told directly what caused the Great Divide. Now that's the creator, not the creator of the creator, though. The female character that was mentioned before. Heed my word, little human. Will you be able to find the last fragment before the void does? For myself, I claim the deep sleep and leave my concerns to you. I am free. So we get the second piece of the Triforce, basically, as going into your chest, not into your lantern. And we keep seeing what is effectively the same cutscene. Maybe we're getting a second or two of more each time. And, of course, now it's caved in. So this temple is once again destroyed. Feels like I might be helping the void, not stopping it, because he is managing to destroy the last three temples. Meanwhile, I'll have to see if I can defeat him with the three pieces of... I'm not even sure what they are, honestly. Yeah. So, if we look at the map, it's kind of obvious what we're going to do, but I suppose we should fly back and talk to the people. Here's a giant bird sanctuary. Interesting. I kind of wonder if I would just die, would I end up where I want to be? Have we read this? Home of thousands, we built the shrine to stand beacon and as home to the birds of the lands, much as birds did for us in the ancient days. They have been friends since forever. They scoured the lands and settled in places of soil which could sustain us. When we still were the tribes of the wilds, we traveled with the birds as they moved. We trusted them to mark the movement of change. They taught us to be nomads and shape us to what we became. Okay. That explains a decent amount. This whole world would be completely inaccessible if you couldn't fly. I guess you'd have to use the sky boats that we saw the other characters using. And this is the Creator's Shrine, which I don't think I can do anything with. This thing is still rather awkward to try and control. So maybe eventually the lighthouse will unlock this. But right now you can kind of see there's nothing there. Yeah. If I fly straight in this general vicinity, that is going towards the lighthouse directly. And that looks like not a cloud, but a platform. That's odd. Are we still going in the right direction? Yep. It is basically just a Small island there. And then this island, which we've already been to. And I don't think there's anything on this island. And yeah, we should be flying directly towards the settlement. Let's fly a little faster. This is really slow. I don't know if maybe I would prefer to just teleport in some cases back to the settlement. Still a chance that maybe eventually after we do all of the game we'll be able to light these kind of lanterns. And we lost the daughter somewhere. She's run off, I think. Either off this island or in this hidden or somewhere else. Let's go ahead and talk to her. We have been taking care of the land of the gods for many years now, me and John and my parents before us, but I haven't reflected on the rituals of the pilgrimage very much. Why is it only bird shifters go through the pilgrimage? There are other shifters who are chosen by other spirit animals. So yeah, if Forgotten Key hadn't gone out of business, maybe they were gonna make some other games about other kinds of shifters. There are of course stories that tell of Kara. She was a bird shifter too, but it feels as if it's more than that. As with Kara's light, I feel that you were given it to shed light on something important. But you still have a part of the pilgrimage left, don't you? Let's see. There's only one temple left. It's located beyond the storm and the Howling Peaks, all the way up the roof of the world in the north. It was an old monastery where people lived, served, and lived in solitude. The sigil is located close to a small bell tower rather than the temple itself. Take care when flying through the storm. Sometimes it's difficult to find the way, and it's raging stronger now than just a few years ago. So it's like a permanent storm.
Yo.
Have you seen Erin? I turned my back for just a second and I can't find her anywhere. Oh, this is all my fault. I know that she's on an adventure as adventurous as her old man, but it's not the same. It's just different when it's your kid, you know. Will please help me find her? I'll search around the camp and see if the skyboat is still here. God forbid she took the skyboat. Can you search the outskirts of the island and see if you find her? Okay. So she is somewhere on this island. That's much more doable than her being hiding somewhere. Now, the way this game has been going, we've seen a lot of dead animals and dead people and ghosts. I wouldn't 100% opt out on the thought that Erin might be dead somewhere. Which would be pretty odd, I would say, for this mostly peaceful game. But yeah, the theme of death seems to definitely be playing a role. And oh, there she is. Found her. But now I've got to find a way to pull up and around and not crash into the island. And then I've lost her probably again. Yeah, even turning the sensitivity down on this, that only helped so much. So we'll shift back into human form. I saw her. She's got to be somewhere around here. That's a sheep. This is grass. Or wheat or something. Probably isn't enough food on this island to even feed 3 people. It's a bird. I don't think I was supposed to be able to do that. Yeah. Even if you're raising the sheep for wool and meat and growing wheat for bread, there's no vegetables or variety really happening in that diet. May have to transform to untransform just to get up there. There she is. So maybe I could have found her earlier. Hi, Ock. Have you seen this? I found this rock on my expedition all by myself. I'm convinced it's some kind of great evil monster's mastermind's mineral minion. I have kept it under close watch. It hasn't done anything yet except standing there. But I heard Midvin say the Black Rocks destroyed Karen's shrine. I bet that is something to do with that split mountain up in the northeast as well. Did you know that the spirit fox lives there? We went there once, me and Dad. I had to wait outside, but I found a large ruin, so I had an expedition there too. See, I'm an awesome adventurer, and now you should take me with you. Maybe I should ask Mom and Dad first. If they say yes, then it's a promise. Promise? So yeah, this is a... You kind of did promise, you know, so it's a deal now. I better get back to Mom and Dad soon. Alright, so that seems like that's all there is to that. Before we make a mistake, let's go in here and talk to our guru guy. Now, I don't think I played Skyward Sword too much. I may have played it a little bit, but I don't think I finished it. But I did play the boat one, Wind Waker. And one thing I think Wind Waker did that probably would have been helpful here, if this was more complete of a product, would have been to have me stay on the settlement and get to know everybody and do some maybe busy work there. Ocarina of Time does the same thing where you kind of talk to all of the elves in your village before you're allowed to leave your village, to at least have some small interest or connection to those characters. And they really didn't even play a big role in the game, but it still was nice to just ground you and let you know that this is a real world with real people. This game, it doesn't feel like that at all. It's a world with 4 people at most. Ak, I have some information, but it raises even more questions. I'm afraid. Before the caretakers, there was another entity, the Creator, whose shrine I bet you've found already. Since the world itself is his temple, he has no temple of his own. But there is a shrine, larger than any temple. Strange, isn't it? I found an old text from the time of the Great Divide. The lighthouse shone a brilliant beam, and a monolith tall as 10 of the tallest towers of Urza appeared in front of my eyes. In one instance, the peaceful refuge of the land of the gods became, instead, sky, chaos, and piercing light. In the middle, the monolith. I knew then that it was the Creator's shrine I gazed upon, for nothing else it could be. From it cracks spread, and the sound of 1,000 thunders drenched my mind. First, the Great Divide is a tale of Kara, the beginning of the people of the sky, and nothing more. Now I think otherwise. Kara visited the caretakers as you have done, and it's said that she was given a great power when praying at the lighthouse. I believe this creature you see in your dreams is looking for this power, and for some reason it seems to be following you. I beg you, visit the last caretaker and see if you can find out even more. I will continue my search here. So, my understanding of that implies that it's very possible at the end of getting all the pieces, I will, instead of undoing the Great Divide and creating a combined better world, which is kind of the assumption of what's going to happen, I might cause another Great Divide that's even worse and destroy the world. Which again, that would be weird. Certainly. So it's been another 30 minutes. We kind of need to fly in a northeasterly direction to see if maybe we can find the Great Fox. And then I wouldn't be surprised directly north if there isn't actually too many islands. And then in the northwest section is the final temple. And yeah, I'm not really sure whether we're going to get 5 more minutes of content after we do the final temple, or possibly maybe 30 more minutes of content. It kind of depends on how many cutscenes they really animated. So far there hasn't been that many. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. Also, if you want to support me, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.